Wasting water in California can soon lead to up to a $500 fine under new rules being considered by the State Water Board. The State Water Resources Control Board is expected to adopt regulation coming before the board on February 20th, which is tomorrow, that would make it a crime to use water in various ways. These rules would take effect on April 1st. The new rules would outlaw the following practices: overwatering lawns in which water flows into the street, washing down driveways and sidewalks, washing your car using a hose without an automatic shutoff nozzle, running an ornamental fountain without a recirculating system, watering lawns and landscapes within 48 hours of 1/4 of an inch or more of rainfall, hotels not asking guests to skip laundering of towels and linens daily, watering a street median that has no community, recreational, or civic function. Max Gomberg, a climate and conservation manager for the state board, said the state would rely on residents to rat out water wasters for law enforcement. One way to do this is to fill out a complaint form over at www.savewater.ca.gov. No one would be above the law, he said. The regulation applies to residents, businesses, and government, including state government entities such as Caltrans. Well, what would you expect from the internet but for random internet users to begin turning in the DNC headquarters in California and Jake Paul for wasting water? This shouldn't be a problem, though, for anybody, according to people like Nancy Harry Pelosi, who claims that the $1,000 or so people receive as a result of a tax break are breadcrumbs. This must mean everyone can afford $500. This must mean that people, perhaps those that are obviously working under the table, wink wink, would surely be able to pay their fines. Fines like this, of course, only dramatically affect the working class, and you know that companies that waste water will find a way to weasel their way out of it. The answer is almost never government regulation. There are many other ways that water can be conserved, and instead of fines that would target landscapers, perhaps there could be incentive to conserve water rather than punishment for wasting it. You get more from incentivizing good behavior than you do by discouraging bad behavior, at least in my experience. In either case, this should be a regulation directed at companies that use millions of gallons of water, not the average Joe who is watering their lawn. We live in a state that needs a dramatic change in its leadership, as each decision made by lawmakers in California are ones that the people themselves have little concern over. California is getting closer and closer to becoming a full-blown yet incompetent authoritarian state. Well, that's all I have to say about this particular story, but I have a little bit more. A short clip I made about Crying Jimmy. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
So if you've been hurt or are feeling bad, whether you're a kid or a mom or a dad, it's okay to cry.
I think it's, children are being murdered.
Jimmy Kimmel, not only do I admire somebody who can turn on the waterworks on cue like a sociopath, but I admire somebody who can succeed in mainstream media with no redeeming qualities. You aren't insightful, entertaining, or sharp of wit. You aren't even funny, but you are, however, the center of a massive punchline, a 24-hour op that has never lost its charm. Sarah Silverman not only fucked you, she married you. Now that is comedy. Way to really commit to a joke.